Hello, this is Yvonne Gamble, and I am the Executive Director for Women Leading Change Now. We're here at the United Nations CSW 65 Parallel event, and our event is on aligning your financial goals. I'm here today with with my guest Danielle Bengango, and she's going to talk to you about just how this pandemic has impacted her working out in the world and her economic growth. And then I think maybe she'll have something that she wants to share with us as for some of the things that she's going to be doing in the future, because most certainly this pandemic has changed the way that women work. And as you know, with the sustainable goals, we want to make certain that we are able to continue and sustain. So Danielle, welcome to the show today. And we're so happy to have you here. And you're here all the way from Paris. Are you in Paris now, or are you outside on the outskirts of Paris?
Yes, good evening, Yvonne. I'm Danielle. I'm from Cameroon. I'm thrilled to join this event. And I'm talking to you from France, exactly Saint-Cy, a city nearby Paris.
Oh, okay. Okay, very good. So, well, how has it changed the way how has this pandemic, with the shutdown and then the continued shutdown and the shots and all that kind of stuff, how has that affected your working day and your ability to earn money in your work that you do?
Actually, in the beginning, it was quite difficult because I was also looking for an opportunity to get an internship related to my studies, since I'm student in engineering. So it was quite difficult to apply and get response, and everything moved backwards. So I couldn't do much of stuff, and even the jobs that I was doing aside for maybe to pay my bills and so on, it was kind of difficult too, because we have like restriction with the lockdown. So up to now, things have been moving like a little bit difficult. It has been difficult in one word. So we have to adapt. But I guess that this year things are gonna change, and then I have my project to move forward with and research that I needed to conduct, and even things are somehow how will I say it? I'm moving slowly. Like, I'm still eager to move on all the opportunities, but things are really difficult at the moment. But I take this situation as an opportunity because I discover many things related to my studies, to my project. I made friends and so on. But the social life, it's some kind of difficult to live with locked like in a closed environment without meeting your friends, families. I mean, it's really, really difficult for me.
And now with the project that you remember that you just made mention of, how now that the pandemic is on, how is that going to change how you might some of the different parameters, how you might bring that out, or how you might actually do that particular project? How would that change it? How are you going to have to change now to you're developing something, and now you're developing and it has to be adapted to a new way of life?
I don't think things are gonna change more, because I took this time to actually work on my project, which is recycling and recovering waste in Africa, especially first of all in Cameroon, and then potentially in other African countries. So it was the time for me to interview people, get in touch with some people via LinkedIn, and make relations, and even get some new details. But it wasn't efficient at all. It took much more time than usual, because I can go back to my country to get some data, and I'm stuck here in France for a moment with my studies and so on. But I guess things are moving like in the right directions. I'm not so worried about it. I'm sure things are going to be well soon.
Okay. Now, when you said, I don't want you to, give us away any trade secrets, but when you're saying recycling, what are you looking? Are you looking to recycle, something and then turn that into something else? I know that a lot of the different space projects and different things that are going on, they're looking for engineers, or they're looking for people to come in, with those ideas and with those that information on, how they could recycle something that's one item and then turn it into repurpose it, what do they call that? Resequencing the proteins, or am I getting out of my own league here?
Yes, but when I'm talking about recycling, it's much about recycling waste and generate energy, bioenergy. So as I'm an environmental engineer, I'm actually working on the project with some of my colleagues so that we could actually switch towards circular economy, sustainability, and corporate responsibility in Africa. Since there, they are still using some kind of linear waste management system, and people are not aware even about the problem like climate change. They just like read it in the news. They don't actually know what is it and what is the part of responsibility, and how can we actually do something that could be benefit for the future. So I want to raise awareness there. I want to actually reduce the problem related to the waste, actually, because there are sanitation issue, public health issue, and so on. I mean, it's the worst things. The current situation is going worse. Like, really, we need to do something. It's crucial to do something at the moment.
Okay. Well, that's very interesting. That's very interesting work. What can you offer to the other students? Because it sounds like you did a real good job. You saw what was going on, and you're using this time to do your research, and you're planning this big project, which what sounds like a very big project if you're talking about recycling waste, and doing this, for, eventually going out into at the countrywide level. What can you say to your other students there, colleagues who are not working with you, who are just students, also like you are, to help encourage them in what they're doing? What type of words of encouragement can you give them? And then our audience at large, we have lots and lots of students that we actually speak to, and we speak to on a regular basis. So what type of words of encouragement, Danielle, might you offer to them?
Well, I will tell them that thanks to this pandemic, we kind of get the opportunity to talk about some subject. You cannot see it like an obstacle, because it's an opportunity to move forward a better future and do stuff that we weren't able to do. And I guess you might find a way, no matter the difficulties, to move to a better, like to move on, like to do stuff that you really like, and that's it. I don't see it like an obstacle. This is the right time, the right moment. Move on.
And I'm with you on that. You're absolutely right, because I mean, this what it did was, in my view, this was probably, I would say, the best of times, the worst of times. This is truly one of those moments when you have the best of times and the worst of times happening all, simultaneously. And I feel like it has leveled the playing field to the point where everybody is starting from ground zero. and having to rethink and repurpose and redo, what they're doing. And I'm very appreciative, of the work that you are doing there. And is there anything else that you'd like to share, or to, just to kind of give them a little, heads up or a little boost when it comes to the workplace, working in the workplace, especially for women? They find that gets to be sometime a push and pull or tug and pull when they're in the workplace and when they're moving up. And you seem like those things don't even, come into your mindset. You're out there working in an industry because that industry is there and because the need is there. So how can you help to encourage people who seem to, kind of get wrapped around a place and not around what the purpose of what they're doing?
The first thing that I learned so far this year is that you might have a vision. When you have the vision, you set your goals, and no matter what happens around you, remember that you are the best so far. So work on, have your target, and then surround yourself with the right people. That's it. That's how actually met, I guess. So that's the thing. You can be a woman or a man, same setting. You are equal. I mean, for me, we are equal. We have the same ability and capacity. So just do your part and do it well. And that's it.
Okay. I like that. That is a different approach. You're absolutely right. We're equal. And when we stop seeing ourselves, one of the things that I can hear in what Danielle is saying, and that is we're, because of the fact that we are equal and you have the same capabilities, then you need to operate and you need to work in those capabilities and not look forward, not look to the left or look to the right, but look forward and keep your mind focus on what needs to be done and what you need to be doing and how you can make it better, with what you do.
Yes.
Did you? Excellent. So are they going to, have the big race there in Paris, the big foot race, the marathon? Not the marathon. The marathon I know is huge, but the biking, the Tour de France. Are they saying anything about whether or not that's actually going to take place this year?
I'm actually a French guy here. Maybe I should ask him because I'm not much more. I'm not, because of the COVID situation. I'm not much more on the news so on. Like I just open what I need to see and then close on. What about the Tour of France? Do you think it's gonna take place here in Paris again, in France? The Tour de France?
Yes, of course, it's very close to.
Yeah, yes, he's saying that yes, it includes this year. They are gonna do it this year.
Okay, excellent. Well, that's good. Certain things,
He's not sure.
Not totally sure.
He said he's not totally sure, by the way.
Okay. Well, that's very good to hear. That's encouraging. Certain things, yes, we know we have to give up so much but there's certain things just, it'd be kind of hard to give those things up, and especially something like that. I did see, I was hoping that would go on. I know it's a little slightly different. I saw the Australian Open, the French Open, the tennis, but, that's different because it's two people, way on opposite sides of the court. So it's, you could just empty out the stands and, it becomes, social distancing is easier to accomplish, in certain sports. So I'm hoping that with that, I'm pretty sure I can say this. If I was in the Tour de France, you wouldn't have to worry. My social distance, I'd be so far back. I don't think I would. It would be an issue at all. So Danielle, with that, I wanted to. Did you have any other last words or last thoughts that you wanted to leave our audience when it comes to aligning your financial goals with with the workforce and with economic development, in general. Was there anything you wanted to leave them with?
Nothing so far, because I'm not also a specialist of this area, so I cannot develop this. So I'm sorry, I have nothing so far to add here.
Okay. Well, that's okay. That's okay. It's a wide topic, and we're going to be talking about this for during the entire UN CSW 65. We're going to be, it begins on the 15th of March, and we'll have speakers on the 15th going all the way to the 26th. And then on the 18th of March, join the leaders as they actually will have a 90-minute class speaking specifically to the alignment of goals and how you can actually incorporate that, into your everyday work world, your business world, and most certainly, in the way you live. So Thank you very much. And I want to thank again my guest, Danielle.
You're welcome.
Yago, for coming to us, all the way from France here and speaking with us, on this topic. And we look forward to hearing from her again. I'm sure we'll hear her name as she goes throughout Cameroon and then Africa with her waste recycling product. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, Danielle.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.